I got full mats now.
Oh, they shooting?
Yeah, at me. Keep running, keep running.
It's another mag here over here.
Let's go camp somewhere.
It's another mag here below me. On top of that
Where
shed.
is you going? Oh, my aim's terrible. Hit one for 980.
Where they at?
He's hiding now, I think. He was just straight ahead, south 165.
It's another to drop for him. They here.
A nigga's on us?
Yeah, bro.
I just fell. I'm dead. Oh my god. I just fell with fall damage.
Oh my god.
How'd you die? Great fall damage too?
How?
Crazy
How did I die
Asian.
from fall damage, dude?
That's how I died. They fucking shot me like little pussies.
I'll play with you later. I'm about to go smoke a blunt.
Alright, bet. Peace. Smoke a blunt. I thought my fucking fell, bro. That funny.
my god, I have to listen. Hello?
You know, you can shut the hell up. I'm trying to fucking ask you. Dad, I'm hungry. Make me some food. Bye, bitch. I'm getting the fuck off because you're fucking bad.
Bro,
What?
my remote is messed up.
Good for
I
your
can't even
remote.
ready up.
Good for your remote.
Turn on remote. Oh, get ready up. Just kick me.
Good, I'm getting off then. Bye.
Bye.
Fucking faggot.
Kick me.
No, I want you to suffer.
I'm turning the PS4 off. Yeah. Turn off. Don't turn off. Yeah.
No, I was pissed. I just want you to suffer. Nigger, that's gonna I got a pizza, 'cause I'm fat. I got a pizza, 'cause I'm gay. Is this the remote that works in there? Renee. Oh, good puppy, man. You're a little bubble. Come here, puppies. Come here, my name boy. Come here, my name boys. Come here, puppies. Good boy, man. You're good puppies. shit. Man, my marketing.
Oh man. Where's my cord for my phone to plug in?
I ate it.
Honey?
Those are big ass eggs.
Ouch. Where is it? So I plug my phone in.
Tell me we're both now.
Asshole. Why the fuck are you taking it?
Man, that's not the one.
That is the one.
That was in Brooke's room, so that's a
It was not. You're lying.
Brooke! What is this Samsung charger from your room? What is the Samsung charger from your room? Oh my god, you're retarded.
We all have iPhones. Good try. Pick up your fucking pop cans.
That was on mine. Dumbass. He was dumbass. You're gas underwear. You're fat, Dad. Oh, crap. That's fine. Oh, that's fine. What? Oh, give me popcorn? Alright, that's not making it popcorn. That's me, man. Man. You look pretty grown, man. You look pretty grown, man. Oh, yeah, man. Ugly, yeah, you ugly, man. No! You're freaking ugly, dumbass. Come on, man. Look at that. Go on, Nick. Go on, Nick. Come here, Nick. Oh, come here, Nick.
speeches. Infamous ghettos. Dangerous gangsters. Innocent victims. Just 10 miles from Miami's world-famous coastline are some of America's meanest streets. To take down the most violent criminals, the Miami-Dade Police Department turned to their special response team, known as SRT.
SRT responds to any situation that regular units on the road cannot handle. When they run struggle, they call us. We are the last line of defense.
It's the beginning of the day at Miami-Dade Police Department. Sergeant Manny Margot is one of the 3 highly trained units that make up the special response team. Manny's boss, Lieutenant Calvin James, is SRT's overall commander. With violent crime at present, the city is becoming increasingly dependent on its elite police unit.
The reason why Miami-Dade has chosen to use SRT to execute most, if not all, narcotic search warrants is because of the propensity for those violence that comes with behavior. Usually when you deal with those, they believe in violence. They survive through violence. They're all armed. So instead of sending or taking the risk of sending a regular detective or police officer to these places to execute these warrants, the leaders of the department understand that it will be responded to in the appropriate fashion.
Illegal weapons have become an epidemic in America. In response, police combat units like SRT have needed to equip themselves with the latest weapons and body armor.
This is our bulletproof vest. It's got level 3A protection, which means it will stop rifle fire, such as AK-47s and sniper rifle. This is our diversionary device, also known as a flashbang. It delivers an intense flash of light and a loud noise. It's used to divert the attention away from the entry team, and it's also used to temporarily stun the subject. This is our 9mm handgun. It's used as a secondary weapon in operations. A lot of the houses in Miami-Dade are fortified with iron bars, security bars. Team leader will come up to the door, wrap the hooks around, give the signal to the driver, and the door will rip right off. This is our Halligan bar. We put this in the gap of the door, pry the door open. This is a 15-pound sledgehammer. This is our breaching shotgun. It's got a serrated muzzle. Basically, the breacher comes up to the door, places the muzzle right up against the lock, and blows the lock off. Next is our .223 carbine. It's our primary entry weapon, and it can also be used as a sniper weapon. This is our 40mm multi-launcher, also known as a gas gun. It'll shoot 6 rounds at one time, and it's used to deploy either chemical agents or beanbag rounds, less lethal munitions. This is our 50 cal sniper rifle. This is a very powerful weapon. It's used for long-range hostage situations. This is the round that it fires. It's got a maximum effective range of just over a mile.
Now with what has become an all-too-familiar scene in South Florida, a gunman opening fire on a group of unsuspecting teenagers with a high-powered weapon.
Another day, another multiple shooting here in Miami-Dade County, and in this case, we have 5 people wounded after police say an altercation broke out inside this popular nightclub for teenagers, and at this hour, the shooter is still on the streets. One after the other, up to the ambulances they went. All of these young people shot early Sunday morning. morning. This is the latest of several mass shootings in Miami-Dade County within the last few months. Just last Monday, 3 people were shot outside of Cloak Space in downtown. And before that, 9 people were victims of a shooting in Liberty City that left 2 teens dead.
On the streets of Miami, an AK-47 is cheaper to buy than a PlayStation.
A week after the mass shooting, SRT have been tipped off as to the whereabouts of the fugitive gunmen. Melvin Gonzalez's Unit 10 wait patiently for the go-ahead to arrest them.
Does Tower get his ass beat? Is that why they're over that way?
Search warrant signed, or for detectives for that matter to get the search warrant signed, but I mean, sometimes we have to wait every day. All the legal aspects of it have to be done the right. And then when we get the word, that's it. We straight to business and we don't skip a beat.
After 5 hours, the squad has been given the go-ahead to make the arrest. They must prepare themselves to take on gangsters willing to shoot on sight.
I've had the misfortune of being present while 2 of my comrades have been shot in the line of duty, and there is somewhat of a sense of helplessness because obviously the act is done. Your partner is injured, and then everything that occurs after that isn't going to make him whole immediately.
From police intelligence, team leader Sergeant Bert Perez briefs his unit on the suspects, the target address, and their plan of attack.
This subject right here is a gang member here in Miami Gardens. We have somebody else in custody already that was trying to go ahead and pass it around. Nicknamed Jojo.
These 2 gang members may only be 17 years old, but they have already shown that they are prepared to kill. Miami's South Beach is a resort that never sleeps. Known as America's Riviera, its Latino all-night party scene has lured the world's jet set. But just 10 miles from the bright lights of South Beach's impressive skyline is the dangerous area of Miami Gardens, where the Special Response Team have met a few miles from the home of 2 members of the notorious 170 Boys Gang, suspected of shooting 5 people. Both gunmen are just 17 years old, but are armed and highly dangerous.
It's a 1-story single-family home. The premises has a light-colored roof, and it's bordered by a chain-link fence. The entry team is going to be Mel with the Shield, Cruz 1, Flacco 2, Madruga 3, myself, Larry and Joe on 2s, followed by George Caceres. Again, subjects involved in shootings and gangs, alright? And they're looking for a weapon in there, alright? And we're looking for subjects, okay?
Every SRT warrant is meticulously planned. With such high stakes, Melvin believes that intelligence on their target is essential.
In a situation like this, whoever has the most information definitely has more of an edge and more of an advantage. We've got numbers, we've got the element of surprise, and we've got superior equipment and training that definitely gives us the edge. They have information that you're supposed to be badder, tougher, more dangerous than the average criminal out there, but you know what? You never know who's capable of doing what. And you're always ready, as cliche as it sounds, you're always ready to expect the unexpected. You don't ever want to become complacent, because on the one search warrant that you become complacent, that's the one where Godzilla is waiting for you on the other side of the floor.
Just 1 mile from the suspect's property, the officers disembark from the truck and jump onto their armored vehicle, known as the Bearcat. Hanging on to the outside struts, the team is able to assault their target as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
SRT systematically searches each room, looking for the gunmen, detaining other suspects they find in the house.
Oh my God, oh my God. Y'all didn't have to break the door. Officer, why you had to break the door open? All you had to do was knock on the door and I would have opened it. Look at all of this. Oh my God.
Hey, sit down on your butt. Put your feet out in front of you, cross your legs.
Oh my God.
What? Look at that.
Oh, the crystal glasses.
Oh,
Do you know how long
Hey,
it took
hey.
my mama to get that house?
Okay, all right. We need you to stay calm, all right?
Now what we supposed to do?
The entry team continue their search for the gang's main gunman, who's finally found in a back room, along with the ammunition he allegedly used to shoot 5 teenagers.
Don't hurt him, please. Oh God, don't hurt my baby, please. Oh God.
The job went absolutely as expected. It couldn't have gone any better. Everybody's leaving here with not so much as a paper cut, which in my book is a completely successful search warrant, because everybody came in, everybody's going home exactly how they got here. And it's actually funny, now that I ponder it, serving search warrants in the neighborhood that I grew up in, it's kind of like a good and a bad, because I mean, you come and you're coming back to your old neighborhood to serve search warrants on people that are doing bad things, but at the same time, you get to reminisce a little bit, and I remember the times and the days that we would spend playing kickball in these very streets.
Nice. Yeah, perfect. Okay, excellent.
After a successful night, Hammerman Larry reflects on a perfect door breach.
Another win. I feel great. It's a great day. Had a nice tobacco, a nice cigar before the warrant. It was a good day. Go home, get the kids a big hug and a kiss, let them know Dad got home today, safe. Give the wife a kiss and a hug, and call it a day. Start another day tomorrow.
2 months after being arrested, the teenagers still haven't been charged, as no witnesses or victims have come forward to testify, even though a reward of up to $50,000 has been offered. Sergeant Ray Malcolm returns from an intelligence gathering operation for a warrant to arrest another member of the 170 Boys Gang.
In your opinion, is there a trend amongst gang members to recruit the younger and more vulnerable?
Yeah, absolutely. The trend has always been for the senior gang member to recruit the junior gang member, because basically they're doing all the dirty work, and the senior gang member is getting all the proceeds. These poor kids are going into a life of crime, leaving a trail of disaster in their wake, and unfortunately the only time they learn their lesson is when they get caught up in a feud, end up dead, or end up in jail.
Ray believes that the only way to stop the rise of teenage gangs is for SRT to employ a zero-tolerance policy.
We need to show the community that we are going to do whatever's necessary to be the knights in shining armor to keep the streets safe. We're not going to allow any gang member with whatever weaponry, whatever preparation they may have, to supersede our authority. I don't care whatever a gang member or crew brings to the table. I don't care if they bring additional weaponry or they're planning for us. We plan for the worst contingency, and we're going to come out with success and as winners.
SRT are responsible for handling high-risk arrests for most of Miami-Dade County, an area of over 2,000 square miles. There's rarely a need for them around the famous South Beach. Most of SRT's work is focused on the rundown districts to the north of the city. In Miami Gardens, one of America's most violent areas, SRT are being briefed for the arrest of another member of the 170 Boys Gang.
Picture of the structure. Definitely orange. We're going to go westbound 167th Street to 22 Avenue. 22 Avenue, prior to the traffic light, we're going to stop, get out of the truck, board onto the Bearcat. Going to go northbound on 25 Avenue, Our structure, quarter structure at 17025. Joe, once again, once you stop, if we need additional help up front, we may have kids. I'll put you out in front as a babysitter so we can dump them off. All right, guys, let's go. Let's beat the rain.
As there are children at the property, SRT need to walk a fine line. They must hit the house aggressively to minimize their own exposure to danger, but also shield the children from harm. To make matters worse, these alleged gangsters are suspected of having assault rifles.
What concerns me about this job is the fortifications, the history of violence, and that there's actually a gang affiliation. So there's mention about AK-47s, which, even though we always assume that, when they bring it up in conversation, it's actually more likely going to be the case. And we're hoping that we don't have those kind of confrontations on this one, but we're always prepared for the worst.
As the weather worsens and the light fades, Ray's unit climb onto the outside of the Bearcat in preparation for their surprise attack.
Visibility is 1. 2 is the possibility of lighting at any one of these thunder. And 3, maneuverability of the vehicle. We don't know the maneuverability. Somebody crashes into us or we crash into somebody else.
But these treacherous conditions don't seem to dampen Ray's spirits.
In every crisis, we gotta look for the opportunity. Obviously, we feed off the crisis.
Cars up front, possible kids in the house.
Car out front.
Open down.
The first priority for the officers is to get the women and children quickly out of the firing line before conducting their search for the suspects.
We haven't done a secondary.
See right down that stump. Hey, listen to me.
Keep moving by the tree. Keep moving, don't let him get out of the gate.
You got any more? Get this guy. Yep. Face down, face down.
Now that all the suspect gang members are detained, the narcotics detectives begin searching everyone, even the children, who are often used to hide drugs. Miami Gardens PD detective Barbara Lee Palmer grew up in a neighborhood where drug dealing was commonplace. She felt compelled to join the police force.
I've seen family go through that, and that's just not where I wanted to be. I myself, I was around it, and look where I am now. You know, everybody is given an opportunity, be it small or be it big. It's just what they do with that opportunity that gets them to where they are. I try and give them the speech about if they get caught with this, their kids will get taken. And maybe they'll think twice next time when they do something like this. Unfortunately, you know, 60-70% of them don't, and the kids get taken, but it's the price they pay.
Wow, you're a big boy. How old are you?
4.
Wow, when's your birthday?
This is the type of job you can't do it if you don't love it. It's very, very time-consuming, very stressful, and 90% of the time, people don't say that they appreciate what you do. And you have to love it in order to keep coming back every day.
After a thorough search of the house, SRT and the narcotics detectives eventually find what they've been searching for.
We found indications of money consistent with narcotic sales, some paraphernalia, and firearms within the house.
The main gang member is charged with possession of firearms and marijuana with intention to sell. The business of drug dealing is often seen as a ticket out of the ghettos. The drawback is that these criminals will often face SRT, who undertake over 300 drug warrants every year. The following day, SRT's Unit 10 are back in the ghettos for another narcotics search warrant. The team won't have far to travel, as heroin dealers are operating out of a house directly opposite the police station.
Apparently these individuals have decided to sell drugs right in front of a police station, which makes them pretty brazen. I mean, there's not too many people that I would think would have enough sense or common sense, if you will, as to deal drugs in front of a police station. So I don't know if they're really, really brazen and brave, or if they're actually kind of dumb.
Officer Melvin Gonzalez will be first to enter the target house, so he works the shield.
This is our shield locker. This is where we maintain our shields. We have different level of shields. This is the standard shield that we use more often than not. The majority of it is consisted of bullet-resistant material. It's got a ballistic glass that allows me to see through it. It's got this plastic assembly that houses this light that I'll use to illuminate the path in front of us. In the back of it, it's got an apparatus here. It's ambidextrous, so it's designed to be held with either the left or the right hand. It's got a switch an on and off switch here that sends electricity to the touchpad, and then when I push the touchpad, it activates, turns on, and turns off the light. It's simple technology, 5,000-year-old technology, a basic shield. When they threw rocks, shields were made of wood. When they threw arrows, shields were made of metal. Now bad guys throw bullets, so now they have to be made of Kevlar.
As the drug den for this warrant is just across the road from the police station, Sergeant Bert Perez briefs his men around the corner, so as not to draw attention to themselves.
Search warrant, Hispanic male selling heroin, approximately 15 feet across the street from POB. This is 35th Street, POB is right here.
A 30-second ride in the Bearcat, and SRT arrive at the target address.
That's the house right there. Alright, that's something's running out the back. Something's running out the back. Police, shots fired!
The alleged drug dealers try to slip out of the back door, but SRT easily capture them.
The job went as perfectly and as smoothly as we could possibly have hoped for. We came up, the door was locked, our creature came up, reached the door. I was the first one coming in with the shield. We went into the rooms, confronted no one there. All the bad guys were all gathered up trying to make their getaway out the back. It went smooth.
One of the arrested suspects has a Tommy gun tattoo, usually symbolizing that he's the gang's executioner. A narcotics canine is released and later finds evidence of drugs. The gang are charged with possession of heroin and marijuana.
This is where they're selling heroin out of, and like I told you, we're right across the street. We have marked police cars and our police station.
After the warrant, the unit returned to base.
So, Bert, hold on, man. Yeah, don't touch it too hard. They might explode.
Working constantly in the line of fire, these SRT officers have developed a unique friendship.
Hey, the people, now you're gambling, darling! What we like to do is just sit around, talk, crack some jokes, and ease up the, the atmosphere. I was that winner, you loser. Unit cohesion is the best thing in this unit. It's something that we look for in every operator. If we have an operator that we can't get along with, then it's not good for the unit. It's not good for our squad. It's okay to have a different opinion, as long as everybody's on the same page and everybody takes care of each other. Everybody watches out for each other.
These officers are more than just a band of brothers. They've been trained into an elite fighting machine to bring Miami's most hardened criminals to their knees.
You can send a pack of dogs inside a house and they'll search the house for you, but it's just a pack of dogs. It takes an operator that knows what he's doing, that's seasoned, that trains together from the oldest guy in the unit to the youngest guy in the unit. I would say that there would be a lot more police officers hurt in this job if SRT wasn't around, or if the county didn't have an SRT unit. I think it's a credit to our training that we haven't had anybody killed.
On the streets of America, 3 million illegal weapons are seized each year, and 17,000 murders committed. In the area of Miami Gardens, SRT has been called in to arrest a local rapper known as Dollar Bill, who's suspected of attempted murder. An SRT unit led by Sergeant Manny Malgore is already inside the house, and Dollar Bill has barricaded himself in the attic. Whilst Manny's team hold their positions inside the house, SRT's commander, Lieutenant Calvin James, oversees the operation. To assist Lieutenant James, a negotiating team has just arrived at the scene.
We're not going anywhere. Anthony, we know you're in there. No sense in hiding up in the attic. Take the cover off the attic, show your hands, and come down from there. Do it now. You don't want us to tear up your friend's house. We allow you to come in there for safekeeping. But we're not going anywhere. We'll do whatever it takes to get you out of there.
We're going to coordinate the burn boxes, get ready to coordinate the burn boxes with the negotiation.
After an hour of unsuccessful negotiations, SRT decide to increase the stakes. A chemical agent is poured into the building to try and force Dollar Bill out of the attic.
Come down from the attic. Come on with your hands up. Do it now, Anthony. Come on, Anthony. Do it now.
SRT waits another 30 minutes for Dollar Bill to surrender, but he refuses to give himself up. With all their options exhausted, Lieutenant James gives the order to storm the attic.
Take cover. Take cover.
According to SRT, when they entered the attic, Dollar Bill lunged at officers with a knife. In self-defense, SRT shot Dollar Bill. He died shortly afterwards.
Obviously, the taking of someone's life is the most difficult thing you're going to have to face in this job. If, God forbid, you're placed in a situation where you have to take someone's life, we try not to take it personal. We try to, at least in your mind, tell yourself you did it because you had to, you did it because you had to save someone else's life or your life, and not dwell on it, and move on.
To take down Miami's most hardened criminals, SRT has needed to become one of the world's best units at close-quarter combat.
9mm round to the face. Prior to that, we encounter such subjects with firearms all the time, and it's only because of our training and the aggression in which we do our job that keeps us safe and keeps us alive. We prepare by training, doing entries over and over and over, the movement inside the house, the room clearing, the entering the room, who's going to open the door, who's going to come in first, where's the room laid out, how do you read that wall? When you find your footing and the rest of the guys know what it is, it's almost like a dance inside the house. Nothing goes wrong. Your footwork is smooth. The way you handle your dual weapon is correct. You think you're going slow, but you're really not. It's happening rather quickly, and you're gathering a lot of information rather quickly, and that's the dance. We had an operator, a seasoned operator, a veteran operator who came in and told us when you come in through that front door, expect that those first 3 rounds are yours. You own them. So what he did was he took out his magazine and he gave us 3 rounds, just like that. And he goes, here, you hold them. They're yours. It's how you react after you get hit with those first three rounds, and how your team reacts after you get hit, and what they do that makes you a great operator and makes your team a great team. You practice it, you rehearse it, you train for this all the time, but you don't really know until game day how it's gonna play out.
For a man who shot an undercover officer at a drug lab in Southwest Miami.
Now, police say that the undercover detective was checking out a possible drug house last night here in Naranja when he was shot in the torso. The undercover detective is the 3rd Miami-Dade Police Department officer to have been shot and wounded this year by gunmen.
Policing in America has never been so dangerous. Every 53 hours, an officer is killed on duty. News of the latest police shooting in Miami has reached Sergeant Manny Malgo's team.
Currently, one of the narcotics guys just got shot down south. But 272th Street and 152 Avenue. We're trying to figure out what exactly happened, and if they have the subject in custody or whether he's inside the house. The last information I got, the subject may have run back inside the house, so we might be heading over there. So here now.
The unit is at a staging post preparing for a planned warrant, but this will now be postponed, as SRT have been instructed to try and capture the gunman.
Are you guys on? Alright, the staging area for now is going to be 272 Street and the highway. 272 and the highway.
How difficult is it knowing that you've got an officer shot?
Well, obviously, my first concern is for the officer's safety. As a human being, it's very difficult. We're not going to want to seek revenge and not to see it's personal, especially if the officer is a friend of yours or someone you know. It's very difficult. But that's where the professionalism kicks in, and you gotta believe in the justice system and let justice take its course. Our job is to catch the guy.
At the crime scene, the wounded police officer is emergency airlifted to hospital. On arrival, SRT immediately take control of hundreds of police officers.
All right, let me get everybody over here. Supposed to be a Latin male. They had some kind of surveillance on him, and as they approached the house, the guy shot at the officer with a shotgun. He got hit in the face on the side. As far as they know, he's still inside the house. They said just recently he turned off all the lights, but they can see him moving around inside. That's all the information I got. Take it at face value. There's a good possibility he may not be inside the house, so heads up, if you set up a perimeter, make sure somebody's watching your back, all right? Because he could be anywhere around, all right?
Having no idea where the gunman is hiding, SRT's first task is to surround and secure the perimeter. But that's not going to be easy, as the gunman's property is situated in vast areas of open land.
You want to take Julio and somebody else with you and start working your way along that fence line to the 3 side. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to send Bert back there with about 5 or 6 guys and 3 canines, and they're going to sweep the field behind them. Once that field is swept and it's clear, we're sure that the subject's not hiding somewhere in the field, and we can concentrate on the main structure.
As it stands now, we've cleared the acreage that's behind us, so we can make sure that there are no subjects hiding back there. We've been able to clear this small room that's here turned out to be a storage shed, and right now we're going to set up to contain the backside or the 3 side of the house.
Is there any difference doing your job when it's somebody who shot at police, or is it just business?
Well, professionally, it's the same thing. I mean, shots are fired, you know the guy's aggressive, you know he's willing to hurt somebody, whether it's police or not. But, I mean, I would be lying if I was to tell you you don't take a little bit more personal, because you know, you're shooting at police, it's one of your buddies that got shot. So emotionally, it's a little bit more personal. As far as business, it's the same job.
After an hour, the perimeter around the property has been secured. The next stage is for the negotiating team to try and start a dialogue with the gunman.
It's the Miami Dade Police Department. There are officers, police officers all around the home. You need to come to the front door. Those of you in the house, we need you to exit the residence now. Exit at the front door.
We have the negotiation process going on, and we're starting to plan for the tactical approach. If we don't get any answer from anybody from inside over the next couple of minutes, we're going to go ahead and move up, pop the iron, pop the front, and pop the wooden doors open.
Anyone in the house needs to exit immediately through the front door.
The negotiators try for 40 minutes to get a response from inside the house, but there's not a sound. SRT then wastes no time in adopting hard tactics.
Alright, LT, we're ready to go.
They use the Bearcat to punch open the front door with a battering ram, so that the team can see inside. There's still no sign of the gunman, so SRT use multi-launchers to deploy a chemical agent that causes uncontrollable streaming of the eyes, breathing difficulties, and disorientation. The plan is to give the suspect no place to go, but outside. Surprisingly, the chemical agent proves ineffective. To make the arrest, SRT have no choice but to enter the gunman's domain. A Miami-Dade police officer has been shot in the face whilst investigating a suspected drug dealer's property. The county's elite police unit, the special response team, has been called in to arrest the gunman presumed to be hiding in his home.
There are officers, police officers all around the home. You need to come to the front door.
Knowing that the suspect has already shot one policeman, entering the house to arrest him is SRT's last resort.
Alright, let's go. Gas, gas, gas.
So the team of 5 chemical agents inside to force him out into the open. This tactic has so far proved ineffective, so Sergeant Manny Malgo's unit decide to increase the dose.
We're going to set up a burn box on the one side, the room. As soon as you come into the front door, the first room on the right. Let's go, set it up.
A burn box delivers a huge payload of chemical agents into the property all at once.
How much CS gas can somebody actually take?
There's a lot of factors in there. There's tolerance. They've been exposed to it before. People tend to build a tolerance after a while. Mental state. On deranged people, it doesn't work as well. There's 100 million things.
Since SRT arrived 4 hours ago, there's been no movement inside the house. Manny then decides it's time to storm the gunman's home and find him.
Listen, the barricaded subject search, alright? There is no hurry. I don't want 2 or 3 separate teams searching 3 or 4 different locations in case we get into a shooting, alright? Do it.
SRT carefully search for their suspect, room by room. But there's no sign of the gunman. Long into the night, the search continues around the outhouses and surrounding area. Hours into the operation and there's still no suspect. But instead, SRT finds what the gunman was protecting. A clandestine grow room full of marijuana. Later that morning, the gunman is arrested 40 miles away on the other side of the city. He's charged with attempted murder and drug trafficking.
This is a man that police arrested, Yo Padron Garcia. They say he was guarding a marijuana grow house. Garcia and the Silverado he was driving were found at a friend's house in Dania Beach after a manhunt by police. Authorities say Garcia was guarding a home where 129 marijuana plants were confiscated. Plants worth more than $1.3 million on the street. Meanwhile, I have spoken with an Upper Miami-Dade police officers. They tell me that Detective Diaz is going to be okay. We're live at Miami-Dade Police Headquarters. Peter Knapp, CBS 4 News.
Back at the Special Response Team's headquarters, Manny and his team prepare for another busy day.
The subject that we were looking for last night, the one that shot the police officer in the face, we were there for hours yesterday. We checked everywhere, and obviously we didn't find him last night. I just got off the phone and got information that they picked him up in Broward County last night. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter who gets him as long as he's going to jail. And now we're off for another job.
Every week, Sergeant Manny Malgore takes his unit for a run along Miami's famous South Beach.
Physical fitness is the meat and potatoes. Building searches, tactics, shooting, and physical fitness is the meat and potatoes of SRT. I've known the bulk of these guys for at least 8 to 10 years. We work together every day. In some circumstances, we're closer than I am with some of my family members. So I would definitely put my life on the line for any one of these guys.
As a team leader, my main responsibility is the safety of the guys. The most important thing is that we all go home to our families at the end of the day, no matter what we face.
The Special Response Team undertake over 300 highly dangerous warrants every year.
Yes.
Manny's unit gets ready for their first of the day.
You know, before a warrant, before a call out, stuff like that, it's all jokes, and that's, we make light of situations, because it's important. That's part of the job. It's part of not taking it that serious. However, when the bell rings, when it's time to go to work, then it's all business.
This is the front door to the structure. This is the side door to the structure. They made the buy out of the side.
Whilst Manny's team make their final preparations for a narcotics search warrant, They are notified of an emergency and the warrant is put on hold.
And you guys haven't been able to make contact with anybody inside.
Hey, listen up. So right now, the warrant's on standby. Do me a favor, make sure you got everything you're gonna need for a call out. Let's load up in the truck of the Bearcat. All right, SRT, let's go. Let's get rolling.
Emergency situations are the most dangerous for SRT, as they have little intelligence to work with.
This one, we don't really know what we have right now. They heard a loud argument, a domestic dispute, and a couple of shots fired. The uniform units responded and didn't get any answer at the door. I think they tried to make phone contact, and the first time they called, someone picked up and hung up the phone. They haven't gotten any answer since then, so I don't really know what we have yet.
When Manny arrives at the scene, he discovers from uniformed officers that there's been a domestic dispute between a mother and her son.
The concern is that he's not answering the home phone, he's on his cell phone, and there were still 2 shots fired. We're positive that they came from inside that house.
That's what the neighbor said, because he was actually listening to the argument outside of his window. The neighbor on the north side.
We may need to go immediate.
Where's the?
Do they have weapons in the house?
The other neighbors are saying that his house is known to have drug users, and they always threaten people with weapons, or making threats that they're going to shoot people. You know?
As gunshots have been fired, SRT must work quickly.
Just for information, I need everybody to set up as quickly as possible. We might have to go to immediate entry, all right?
Manny's unit take immediate control of the scene, as only SRT have the training, experience and equipment needed for situations like this.
See the house with the concrete splattered on the side? Yeah, that's our house.
SRT snipers form a perimeter around the house. All windows are now covered, so that any movement within will be radioed to Manny.
I got gas in the front on the one side with me, which is Caceres and Roman, and I got the entry team ready to go.
Okay, and these guys are in route?
OC is the sniper on the one side, so the only thing we're waiting on now is additional snipers. I need you to pull up on the 1-4 corner, all right? 1-4 corner. Not too close to the house, but so we can get some points on it. Pull it up, pull it up.
Using the protection of their armoured Bearcat vehicle, SRT moved closer to the barricaded suspect's house. At the appropriate time, the team can then storm the house quickly.
Entry team's in position with the Bearcat on the 1-4 corner. I'm going to attempt to make contact via the PA.
Normally, SRT would have to wait for trained negotiators to make contact with the suspect. But as gunshots have been fired, the units have no time to lose. Manny must do the negotiating himself.
Clarence, Miami-Dade Police Department, we need to make sure you're all right. I need you to come out to the front door now. Clarence, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. We need to talk to you. I need to make sure you're all right. We're not going anywhere until we find out whether you're all right or not. I need to make sure that you're all right. Clarence, it's the Miami-Dade Police Department. Get back on the phone. We need to find out if you're all right. We're not going anywhere until we find out whether you're all right or not. Get on the phone.
Manny's negotiations seem to have worked. Suddenly, the suspect surrenders.
Hey, whoa. No, don't approach. Hey, back up. Back up. Come to me. Walk to me. Walk to me. Yeah, stand by. You guys got him. Right here. On my left side. Right here. Left side. This way. This side. Who else is in the house? Move to the one corner.
Other suspects could still be at large, so SRT must search and secure the property.
All right, entry team on the one side. Entry team on the one side, on me. Stand by, stand by. All right, we're making that. Stand by.
The house is empty. SRT then discover that the barricaded suspect was hiding in the loft, until he fell through.
All right, let's go.
The suspect is later committed for psychological assessment. The special response team had a new recruit. The rookie, Dave Rivera, must be at SRT headquarters for 7 AM to prepare the team's kit for the day's warrants.
I come to the office today by myself to come pick up the truck. Since I'm the low man on the totem pole, I would get the worst job. But you know what? It's all worth it to work my way up to the top. It's my job to make sure that everything in this truck is functioning properly. It's where it's supposed to be, fully charged and ready to go. But on top of that, to make sure that these guys trust me so that we can go into any situation and they won't be worried one bit.
Dave recently graduated from SRT's Training Academy.
SRT 47, AKC, we're only 9.
Selection is stiff. The candidate must come through some of the most physically and mentally demanding training they will ever encounter.
It's extremely challenging, both mentally and physically. If you're able to withstand, somebody getting in your face and yelling at you, having you run up and down the range, climb up a berm, come back and shoot under pressure and all that, none of that can replicate to what you're going to experience on an actual call out. We're trying to get into their heads. We're trying to put as much stress and pressure on them as humanly possible to see if they break. And obviously if they break, then they're not the right person for the job.
Only the top 1% of the police force make it through this 3-week intensive test of endurance, stamina, and self-discipline.
Good job, David, good job.
Having graduated from SRT school, top of his class, Dave now has a 3-month trial with this elite unit. His journey to this stage has been more difficult than most.
Sometimes it's sort of funny because I think about where I've come from, and I've always had a good family relationship, been able to go to good schools, get good education, but I was always considered a big nerd. I had glasses, I was overweight, and I don't know what happened to me, but something just clicked inside me when I was in college, and I just knew that I had to get in shape and get mentally prepared and change a little bit, because I hate being always known as a nerd.
As Dave grew up, he was constantly bullied for being overweight. By the time he graduated from college, he was over 20 stone. He then decided it was time to change.
I was approximately 20 to 85 pounds. Now about 190, 195, in that area. I really think it was the desire to be within an elite unit and that desire to want to just excel.
This morning, Dave has been instructed to join an SRT unit on a narcotics search warrant.
Mr. Rivera, good job in the truck.
Being the rookie, he's been given the job with the least risk.
All right, guys, any questions? Let's go.
As the truck driver, Dave's responsible for transporting the unit to a changeover point close to the target.
Usually what we'll do is we'll drive to a certain point and deploy our guys from the truck over to the armored vehicle. And then it's time to rock and roll.
Do you wish one day soon that you're going to be with those guys riding on the Bearcat?
Absolutely, absolutely. Everybody has a job to do. Some guys work entry, some guys work perimeter, but the job to have is always on the entry team. I'd love to be riding with those guys one day, but since I'm the new guy, you gotta start at the bottom and make sure that you don't mess up, because everybody's always watching you.
What's going through your mind right now?
I have to make sure I don't get any tunnel vision, make sure I keep my field of view open. Okay, we're gonna be making the turn right here. It's gonna be a second structure on the driver hand side.
Whilst the entry team storms the house, the rookie takes his post on the perimeter to assist detaining the suspected drug dealers.
Stay quiet. Hands on top of your head.
Hold right there. Hold right there. We got an elderly female coming out right now. It's okay, man. We have a search warrant. It's the police.
There's no dope in that house. What guy is no dope in that house?
Drugs, needles, guns. See, you've done really good for yourself.
One of the detained suspects tries to get rid of vital evidence until he's spotted.
See the blue baggie? Breathe, Mom. That's the guy in the red shirt. Yeah. Breathe, Mom. Listen, relax. That's why we're here.
You need to tell your boys out here not to be doing this in front of your house.
While the detectives are still continuing their search, this is what they found so far. They found a 25 caliber firearm. It still hasn't been made safe, so we don't want to handle it. And they also found some cocaine and baggies along with that, a little bit of marijuana. And it just goes to show wherever there's drugs, there's usually guns. Even if there weren't any drugs in the house, it's good to know that we're getting another gun off the streets of Miami-Dade County.
The suspects are charged with drug offences and possession of illegal firearms. After 1 month of his trial, Dave the Rookie is on track to becoming a fully fledged member of SRT.
As far as the newbie officer Rivera, he's coming along very well. As a matter of fact, I think he's exceeding the expectations of where he should be at this level. I speak the truth. I speak the truth.
Jiu-Jitsu is the chosen martial art for many of Miami-Dade's police officers if they are caught in a street fight.
Yeah, the better if you're choking with this side, the better if you fall to that side. You're gonna be leg out, yeah.
Having patrolled Miami's meanest streets for the last 19 years, Sergeant Jose Gonzalez, nicknamed Gonzo, has often found himself in hand-to-hand combat situations.
Well, we do a lot of ground fighting. A lot of subjects are aggressive and combative. And for our defense, we apply certain techniques. Like right now, we're training in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Gracie Jiu-Jitsu is going to help us when we get into a fight with a combative subject. It's going to at least allow us to subdue him until our backup gets there. I know it allows us to get the upper hand, and that way we don't get hurt, and we go home safe at the end of the day.
Jiu-Jitsu is designed for real situation, not for sport, not for tournament. The style of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu that we teach is designed for the street. And statistics demonstrate that most real street fights end up on the floor. Now let me make this very clear. The last place that a law enforcement officer wants to be is rolling on the ground with somebody.
After a 2-hour jiu-jitsu training session, Gonzo is ready to hit the streets. He's currently with a unit called Miami-Dade's RID Department, short for Robbery Intervention Detail.
Today we're in the back of the Northside District. We're going to be working a RID operation here. It's always been a challenging district as far as high crime is concerned. Violent crimes are committed here, homicides, robbery. I'm going to deploy the guys into certain areas that are targeted. I'm going to go out there and catch some bad guys.
In 2 months' time, Gonzo will be leaving RID to join SRT. Both jobs are extremely dangerous, but they do have their differences.
SRT is definitely a very elite unit, okay? They have a very hard job. They're gonna respond to a call where they already know more or less what they got, you know? In RID, it's a little more different. Our things happen on the fly, okay? We come out to an area, we patrol. You might have a shootout happen in front of you. You could be at the moment when you see a robbery go down right in front of you while you're targeting robbers. Carjacking people pulls out in front of you. Okay, so a lot of those things are sporadic, unplanned, okay, unpredictable. So our job in that sense could be a little more dangerous in its own different way.
Gonzo's unpredictable job becomes immediately apparent. He's informed over the radio of a nearby shooting.
Going to a shooting, they call it a shooting in the city of Miami, at Washington Mutual Bank. It's a possible bank robbery. Somebody was shot. So we're heading over there now.
An argument between two customers in a bank queue has spilled out into the car park, where one pulled out a gun and shot the other.
Anything we can help you guys with?
We got the offender already.
Good.
Okay. From what I'm understanding, somebody jumped in front of somebody else's line and they didn't like it.
Wow. So how you like that, huh?
In a critical condition, the victim is rushed to hospital. He later recovers, but the gunman is charged with attempted murder. These kinds of situations are a daily occurrence for Gonzo, but after serving almost 2 decades on the streets of Miami, he now believes it's time to join SRT.
I'm doing this for a long time. I got a lot more experience now. I'm a lot wiser. I just finished an SRT school, got a lot of great training. You know, it's something that I've always wanted to do. I'm just getting ready to make that move to the next step.
It's not long before Gonzo gets his next call.
The direction of travel, nothing, huh? That's the corner we're gonna go into a shooting at the gas station. It just occurred right now. It's gonna be up here on your right, the BP gas station.
A man has been robbed at a BP garage, and in an unusual twist, the victim has shot the robber whilst he tried to get away.
It's gonna be the subject of the show that just crashed right here that got shot. Hey, that's the subject that got shot?
Yeah, boy, he said he got 29,
Who is it?
and he shot the guy. This guy 29, this guy's in his truck. He's in my back seat.
Okay, good. Right now, we're trying to find out. I'm trying to find out where the scene was, where the actual shooting took place. But they have the victim in one of the police cars. Apparently, this guy robbed him, and I guess he was trying to get away, and the victim ended up shooting him. And then the rescue's working on him.
The robber pays the ultimate price for his crime and later dies in hospital. And for taking the law into his own hands, the gunman is later charged with murder. The following day, the rookie Dave Rivera continues his training with Unit 30, led by Sergeant Manny Malgore, a renowned hard taskmaster.
Today we're doing 3 back-to-back warrants, and as a new guy, I have an internship basically with each of the 3 teams that we have, and today I'm doing it with Sergeant Malgore's squad. Sergeant Malgore is definitely a difficult guy to please, but I know that as long as you do a good job, he'll take care of you. He's a good guy.
But the rookie's training day has already got off to a bad start. Instead of fraternizing with Manny's team, he's been with Unit 20.
I went to go eat without my team, and I know that was a wrong thing to do. I got caught up doing something else after a warrant, and I made the mistake of not trying to include myself with the team. So I think today I'm going to have a little bit of punishment.
When you had dinner with 20 yesterday, at any point during that conversation, did somebody from 20 ask you, hey, what are you doing here? And you said, well, my unit number is 20, whatever it is?
No, I said that.
You did say that. Oh. Can you pick up your glasses? Yeah, very. You did say that. But you don't like to eat with the 30 guys, or what's the problem? Or were the 20 guys eating at a nicer place? What's the issue?
Right now, the guys just don't trust him. The bulk of our group, of our unit, has been working together for 8 to 10 years. So, you know, we go to family functions together, we have dinner together, we run together, we train together, we cry together, we bleed together, unfortunately.
Apple! I'll tell you what, why don't you get a copy of this, autograph it, and give it to the rook?
He's a new guy, he's the outsider, so he's got to prove himself.
We determined a narcotic search warrant today. Unknown numerical address for being a single-story, single-family structure.
The rookie, Dave Rivera, has been seconded to Unit 30 for a training day. Over the past month, the team leader, Sergeant Manny Malgore, has taken every opportunity to examine him under pressure.
Before we get started on the briefing, though, in keeping with tradition, David Rivera, come on up here.
At the start of each warrant, he's been forced to introduce himself to the team, again and again.
Before we get to that, Rivera, step on up, please. Brooke, come on up here. Guys, this is David Rivera. He just came over to the unit a couple of weeks ago. We got a new guy, Brooke.
Dave Rivera, been an officer for 4 years, 26 years old. Dave Rivera, I'm 26 years old. My sign is a cancer. I went to the University of Miami, graduated with a Bachelor's of Business Administration.
What are you doing with us geeks, huh?
I like movies, I like running, I like exercising. Where do you live? With my mom. Yeah. Ooh, I drive a Mini Cooper.
Oh,
yeah.
You can tell it's all about the action. What does your girlfriend do for a living?
She works at a waxing place.
Your intro last time was a lot better. A lot better. Come on. Structure is gray in color, with gray, white, and pink colored trim, and a light colored roof.
Surviving another grilling from his boss, Dave and his team get down to the business of the first warrant of the day. With all eyes on the rookie, Dave will be feeling the heat more than any other officer in the unit.
Again, Rivera's driving the Bearcat, Ferguson's driving the SRT truck, Roman, Casada, and OC have the rear perimeter.
Further increasing the pressure on the rookie, Sergeant Malgore instructs him to drive the Bearcat, the armoured troop-carrying vehicle that leads the convoy and will be first to hit the target. It's essential that Dave pays attention to the route.
183 Street. On 183 Street, we're going to make a right going westbound to 32 Avenue. On 171 Terrace, we're going to make that right. It's going to be on the passenger side. Any questions? Anybody have any questions? All right, good. We're just waiting on Rusty to get here.
How do you feel? Just make sure I remember the route, and I need to make sure that when I'm driving, I don't drive too erratically, because will have people on the sides holding on to make sure they get there safely.
Look, hold up here so we can line them up. This is good right here. Westbound 183 Street.
The arresting convoy.
Mm-hmm.